Hi. Meow. I know, sad song. How's it going, everybody? Oh, I have this hot chocolate. It's so good. I'm late because we were jumping my car because the battery died. Apparently, my battery died. My car sat out in the cold the last 4 days, not being started. So, you know. Hi, Izzy. I'm in a weird place where my glasses are making my eyes freak out, so I'm watching and squinting. Oh no! I have that problem too where like I get new glasses and then within like, I don't know, a couple months, I feel like I can't see out of them anymore. You've been jump starting cars all after network. Oh no! I know! I need to look at something with my I'm still having voice tracking issues. Da, da, da. Like sometimes my mouth is just open all the time and it's not really like doing what it's supposed to do, you know? Where's my, I think it's in here. No, it's in this one. It's in this menu. I know, sad song. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. Banana. Maybe I need to turn my gain down. Frequency gain. Oh yeah, that's better. Let's turn down a little more. Testing. Testing. Testing, testing. Testing, testing. That seems a little better. My other option is I'll try this, but I feel like this doesn't really work that much either. Good enough, good enough, All right, I'll leave it here for now and we'll see how it goes. We'll just see how it goes. I've needed bifocals forever, but can't afford them, so my glasses are getting progressively freakier. Oh no, that's the worst. I probably need bifocals soon too, but for now I have 2 pairs of glasses. What's Fields of Mistria? Fields of Mistria is kind of like Stardew Valley. So it's like a farming sim, and it's you know, that cute like 32-bit style art. I'll just show you. It's really cute. It's really cute. I like it a lot. With pretty Sailor Moon style, it does. It has very 1990s anime character portraits and stuff. It's really cute. That was like one of the first things I noticed too when I first saw when it was getting ready to come out. But this is what it looks like. It's very cute. We're going to change our music. We're going to listen to some 8-bit lo-fi tunes. Kind of fits the vibe a little more. Oh no. My marshmallow tried to escape my mouth. All right. Also, Izzy, I have bunny ears now. Look. Hi, kitty. All right, birthdays. It's Elsie's birthday today. Aren't they cute? I couldn't remember if you were here when we were messing around with mod stuff that night. I saw your peach shipment at the general store this morning and wanted to share one of my favorite recipes. It's for peaches and cream. I hope you like it. Mmm, peaches and creme. Peaches and creme. Here's the first time seeing them. Yeah, look how cute. I'm a bun. The only thing that kind of is stinky is that now I can't wear my goggles, which is kind of stinky. But it is what it is. All right. Oh, cricket. We gotta water the crops. And then I'm not sure what I'm gonna do today. Oh no. We got magic last time. Which means, what does it do? It's like heals or something? I can't remember. Full restore. Restores all your stamina and HP when cast. So that'll be good for in the mines. I'm gonna put the watering can back. We need to give Elsie a present. What do you think she likes? Do you think she would like this emerald? She seems like a classy gal. She'd probably like an emerald, right? A dragonfly? No, get him. It was a dragonfly! Cute! Wait. Wait, where is Elsie at? She's up here. She's at the bathhouse? Yeah. She's not here. Where is she? It says there's people here, but I don't see them. Maybe they're in the bath. Yeah. I have such fond memories of Frederick. Except for the beard era. Not sure what that was about. Give item. Oh, a gift? It's terribly sweet of you to remember my birthday, Chi. Yeah, since nobody gave me shit on my birthday, bitches. I wonder what fresh produce they got over at the general store. Maybe I'll drop by later. Oh, maybe you will. Alright. Birthday task complete. Now what should we do? Let's look at our quests. And to meet her in front of the manor house to talk about our next project. We need to find clay, a worm. We need a gobby. Wait, can we get one of those still? Where is that part of my... Isn't there a thing somewhere that tells me all the stuff? No, it just tells me how many I've collected. So there isn't a thing that'll show me... Okay. Because what if it's only a spring fish? Let's go to the wiki. Fields of Mistria wiki. And we'll search for the gobby. Gobby. All seasons in rivers. Okay. So no problem there, hopefully. So we need a lot of stuff. This isn't happening until next spring. This pond scare, we gotta catch him. Do I have clay? Let me go check if I have clay. I'm also gonna check for noodles at the inn. Money! Tomato soup! Bring tomato soup to Landon. Okay. I don't think I have a recipe for tomato soup. Do you guys have a recipe for tomato soup? Mushroom rice, sesame balls, crayfish, sweet potatoes, crab cakes. Nope. I haven't played it in months. I don't remember, I'm afraid. Oh, that's okay. Nope. No noodles or tomato soup. What about the general store? Do they have recipes? I can't remember. Oh yeah, that's the mods. Oh, we still have to get some flowers. And a pear tree. We didn't buy any flowers last time. We probably should do that. We got all these. I'll just get 3 of each. I'll go plant the flowers somewhere. You know what? I still don't have a shovel. How much is a shovel? You guys sell a shovel, don't you? 500? I'll just make my own. I just gotta go mining. Can make my own shovel. You can check Balor's cart? Is that his name? Balor? Balin? I always forget. These are all crafting. Yeah. Oh, but sometimes he has food stuff, I think, right? Fish stew. A jam sandwich. Fried rice. Tea with lemon. A galette. Alright. Well, I suppose. Let's go plant these. Apparently I missed a spot watering right there. That's weird. I'll fix that. I also need this. Oh, beautiful. Here's the flower tree. Oh, thank you, Blink. I appreciate it. I like flowers. There we go. Now everybody's watered. Oh, I actually have a lot of copper. I could. Alright, let's go swing by the museum, and then I'll go make some copper bars so we can upgrade some tools. / make a shovel. We're handing out flowers. Oh, thank you. That's so nice. We gotta stop and say hi to Hayden's animals. Hi, animals. Where's Henrietta? Who's this little guy? Got a little baby cow. Summer is a season of cumulonimbus, those tall clouds that look like big piles of cotton balls. So right. Can you come fix my well, Hayden? My well's all cracked and broken. Wait, let's talk. I spied a paddlefish at the museum and figured that was your doing. What a funny looking creature. They used to say the paddle was for digging, but it's not the case. A sea scholar told me that. Interesting. Or bug. Oh, it's okay. My car, we had to jump my car today because it sat for a few days in the cold. I didn't have to go anywhere, so I didn't start it at all. And so the battery died a little. So when I got home from work, we had dinner and then we jump-started the car. But I was supposed to have a doctor appointment today and I missed it because my car wouldn't start. So that was kind of a bummer. But otherwise, things are gravy. Look at all this stuff I can donate. Summer insects. I wonder what those are. Alright, now let's go to the blacksmith. And we'll make some copper bars. And maybe we can finally make a shovel. I'm gonna catch this bee. Got him. Alright, let me make some ingots. Yay, skill up! We made it 8. We can get 2 things. Alright. Let's... That's a bummer. I'll chill you up today with more fly. Oh, thank you. Alright, let's get a shovel, because we don't have one. Yay! And then the next thing I want to upgrade is my axe. So we'll get a new axe too. A copper axe can be charged to chop 3 tiles in a row. Nice. Cool. Oh, thank you. I like head pats. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. It's 8 o'clock. What is that? A marigold. Cute. There's the guy. Wonder if I can catch him. Got him! Yes! Wait, who was it that wanted one of those? It was the bug kid, right? Yeah. What's his name? Lucas. Or Luke. I guess it's just Luke, not Lucas. You can make great tea with marigold. Really? Ooh. There he is! Get him! Give him the bug! Wow, Chi! You must have amazing reflexes. Raina helped me make this grilled cheese. I want you to have it. For your hard work. Oh, thank you. I got a grilled cheese sandwich. Should we do some fishing, maybe? I'm gonna jump in this dive spot. I got treasure! What is this? Ooh, cranberries. Are these a summer? Wait, I can't remember. Fall. It's a fall crop. A sweet fish. Hell yeah, food. We love food. Another sweet fish. A loach. Smallmouth bass. Oh no, my inventory's full. Well, I can fix that. Stay there, fish. I'll be back. I just gotta go empty my inventory a little bit. Let's see, what can I sell? I can sell the bugs. I only need one of those. And one of those. I can sell this bass. I'll keep this daisy in case somebody likes it as a gift. Let me go pick up that fish! I want it! What if I can sell it for money? I wish I could sprint. Oh, it's another trout. I think I already had one of these before. Yeah. Alright, we'll sell the trout. Should I sell the trout? No, I'm gonna keep the trout. I forgot, I can use fish to make cat treats. So I'm gonna hold on to that. And these have to go to the museum. These can go in here. Alright. We sleep. I think in the morning... Ooh, basil! I needed some basil, thank you. I think we'll water our stuff and then we'll go hit the mines for a while tomorrow. The bugs don't really sell for very much. Summer 3. Alright, I don't have another birthday until Vera on Saturday. Oh, she's one of the Saturday market people. Fuck. Praying mantis. Goodbye, praying mantis. I have more cranberries somewhere. In here? Yeah, I'm gonna take these out. I feel like out here makes more sense. And this can go in there. And this stuff goes to the... Do you know who you're gonna romance she? I don't know yet. I haven't decided. I really like Hayden, though, so far. Okay, with the shovel, I can make more dirt, too. Oh, now it's actually a square. Look at that. Nice. Now that I actually have one. Alright, watering can. I don't need this rusty axe anymore either. I'm gonna sell it. I don't think I need to keep any of my old tools or anything, right? So I've just been selling them. One of these days I will, now that I have a shovel, I can make my farm more organized next time. I think I want to split it, do flowers. Have one section for flowers and a section for crops. Extra money, nice. Yeah, it's not very much, but it's something. Is there a way I can get rid of this, like, tilled ground? Like, do I just... I wonder if I can shovel it. What happens if I shovel it? Oh. Interesting. I also have a ton of essence. What for you? Oh, thank you. I recall magic was once widely used by the humans who lived here. In fact, I believe I had granted much of that power myself. Apologies, I wish I could remember more. That's alright, I didn't actually want to talk to you. I just wanted to do this part. We're just slowly maxing stuff out. Cooking. Cook time for all cooking recipes will be reduced. Alright. And then I guess we'll do archaeology next. Digging up uncommon artifacts will become more likely. Okay. Digging up peat, sod, and clay will sometimes drop double. Okay. I think I can just learn all of these, actually. What was this one, though? Dive spots can now contain sunken artifacts. Ooh. An additional dig site will appear daily at the western ruins. Yes. Excellent. What else can we do? I guess crafting. Craft time for all crafting recipes will be reduced by 10 minutes. Breaking a branch will sometimes drop an extra piece of wood. Yes. Breaking a rock will sometimes drop an extra piece of stone. Oh, I'm out. I'm out of essence now. Alright. Alright, now let's go to the museum and then to the mines. I'm going to drop off this. I don't need that. I just need this. I don't need this either, technically. Okay. Away we go! I need to do some farm cleanup. My farm is a mess. What's up? Just smell that fresh morning air. Ah, yes. Ah. Bug. You know what? I didn't pay attention if I needed one of those fast-moving water bug things for the museum. I probably... Oh, I meant to go to the museum. I gotta drop off some stuff so I have inventory space. I only need one more! Got some fish. Got another flower. Alright. And now we go. Level 15. Get out of here, sucker. It's a purple one. I need a regular worm. Wait, was that a regular worm? It was! Yes, I needed him. You're one of those copper bugs. Got him! Ow! Get him! Get him! There we go. Okay, that was a little rough. Come on, where's the ladder? What if it's here? Nope. There it is. That's a copper. Got him. Got him. Mushroom. Look at this slimy boy. There's a dig spot here. Ooh, a mystery. A rare artifact. The use of diamond here feels impractical. Whoa. Fancy. Yeah, I'm gonna eat my grilled cheese. Alright. Is this clay? Sweet, I need one of those too. You got all this copper up here. Do I have one of you? I don't know if I have one of you. What are you? Oh, I do. It's a mine cricket. A mine cricket! Let's go up here and get some more copper. And there's a ladder. I wonder if we can make it to level 20. Did you get the backpack upgrade? I did. I have one of them. Yes, we going. I don't know if there's ever anything in this wooden stuff, but I break it sometimes hoping to find treasure or something. Did it add many spaces? Yeah, so you know how you have this one whole bar? It added a whole second bar. So it added like 10 more slots. And it was only like $1,000 or $2,000 or something. So it essentially doubled, which was nice. You can't fool me, sir. Oh no, I missed. Got him. Ooh, the ladder. Oh, let's get this slimy guy. I'm not gonna spend time fishing right now. I just want to get through the levels. Also, I'm almost out of space, and I might find something really cool. Oh no, you poisoned me. It's 8 p.m. Boy, I don't know if we're gonna make it. Got him. It'd be funny if sometimes those guys dropped sunglasses. Wouldn't that be funny? Still ran out of spaces? There's just so much. I know. I do all the time because I just want to like collect everything. I feel like right now even I think my inventory is full now. Yeah. I forgot I could do that. Forgot I had that extra power. Alright, where's the ladder? We needs it. There it is. Oh no. Oh my gosh! Blank, thank you so much for that subby. That's so nice. I appreciate you. Hi, Court. How are you? Now you got the cozy Wookie emote. Look at Wookie. She's so cozy. Thank you so much for your subby. I hope you enjoy the emotes. I'm in the middle of paying off my emo artist to get them updated soon. But I gotta pay her money first, you know. Oh no, another artifact! Also, I need to go before the time runs out. Why don't I just eat... I'll just drink this coffee. You will? Nice. A common artifact. Sadly, it's empty. Aww. We found the ladder. Should I just go to level 20? Let's just go. Money! Ooh, fancy! A faint whisper breaks the silence. Hero. The water seal. Huh? The tablet has an unknown language inscribed upon it. Elin might be able to translate the text if you take a rubbing of the tablet to him. Alright. Water tablet rubbing. Oh my gosh, so much stuff, and I have no inventory space. I'm gonna throw away this, and this, and this. There we go. This potion restores a mana ore when consumed. It tastes like blueberries. An essence stone. It charges a magic tool for 20 days. Consumed for 100 essence. Ooh. Alright, we gotta go. We're not gonna make it home. We're not. Oh yeah, moving so fast. Oh, the coffee. Perfect. That's perfect. Doing good. Just had yummy dinner and now I'm doodling. Nice. I didn't know you were a drawer. I'm running. I don't know if I'm going to make it. Nah, I'm totally going to make it. Oh no, I'm not going to make it. Oh, I made it. I dabble. I'm doodling Pokemon. Oh, cute. Love that. I got $50 for my old axe. Just I made it somehow. Summer 4. I gotta sip my hot cocoa. Ooh, my cat brought me this flower I needed. Alright, first things first. I did have some clay. Okay. This can go in here. This can go in here. This I don't need. This I need to learn whatever it is. Oops. Ornamental ruby rock. A decorative ruby rock. Okay. Put my wood in here. Put these mushrooms in here and my stone. And this was an essence stone charges a magic tool for 20 days. Consume for 100 essence. A magic tool? What does that mean? I don't think I have any magic tools yet, do I? I'm gonna just take it and see what happens. Whoa! I got so much essence! Alright, I need my watering can. I'm getting far too distracted right now. Oh, I'm also gonna need... I think I need 2 of these. I'm not sure. Where's my watering can? There it is. So let's water, and then we gotta go drop off some quest items to people. Oh, I can't harvest them yet. They're starting to look like tomatoes. There's tomatoes. Alright, and then the next thing, let's go spend all this essence. I'm level 16 farming? Dang! Alright, I'll come back to that. Those are a lot more expensive. I'd rather max out all of my level 1 stuff here first. Because why not? We haven't done much farming yet, but we'll get there. Alright, so now we have the first tier of all the skill stuff. What are these? Watering a crop will occasionally drop a seed version of it. Ooh. Tilling soil will sometimes drop a piece of stone or wood. Watering crops will occasionally retain their water through the next day. And grants a chance that tilling refunds the stamina it uses. Nice. Cool. We'll get there eventually. Alright, I need to deliver quest items to people. That's these 2 things. So I gotta take the worm to Terithia. Oh yeah, I gotta take the water tablet to what's his name? And then the clay goes to Nora. All right, where is Tirithia first? Oh, they're actually together. Perfect. Perfect. They're both at the general store, it looks like. Yeah. Dude, it was lucky I drank that coffee before I left the mines, because that's why I made it back home so fast. Ooh, what is he looking at? 2 words. Beach cookout. 2 most important words of the season. Whoa. That Museum of Ilons is coming along nicely. I tell you, the kids are obsessed, and then they always come back and tell us about it. I bet they know more about Mistria's history than us grown-ups. Good job. Oh, thank you. That was pure luck. Alright, I have a thing to turn into you. I guess it was just 1. I thought it was 2. She's been talking about making this legendary sword for days. She'll be delighted. Here's your reward. Thank you. Here's your worm. Thank you. Oh, actually, let me see if there's anything good to buy. Should we buy a pear? We have... Oh, there's also a peach. We have enough gold to buy 2 trees. Should we do it? Then we have no gold. I feel like we should just go for it. Probably gonna need this pear for the museum because I didn't need a peach. Alright, let's do it. We're doing it! We're spending all our money! Oh, I got a cute little outfit. Ranger's jacket. Request for a monster fang. I have some of those. Ow! That was a nice... That was mean. Why would you do that? Ow! Why would you be mean to me? Red? Why would you bonk me? Why? Those puppy dog guys don't work on me. Liar! I can't believe you. Can't believe you would do that to me. Alright, I'm gonna put a tree right here. I'll put another tree right here. Yeah, that looks good. Get the grass! Bounce a little and that will though. Oh, you mean like this? Oh, it's not really working. I think I'm slouched in my chair too much. Boo! Turn the jiggle physics up. No! It's because my coat's in the way. What about like this? What are you trying to make her do? He's being a pervert. Bug. What is this one? You're glowy. I already had one of those. Alright. I'll sell you. Alright, and then I gotta turn these 2 things in. And then we gotta go talk to people. We gotta go talk to Eland, and we gotta go find his sister and talk to her too about the next project. Bug. Is this a new kind of butterfly for summer? Oh, no, it's not. What is this? Oh, sesame. What is this? Oh, thyme. I already have those. I already have those things. More peaches. There's just a random peach tree there. That's crazy. Oh, look, Eland's here. Just who I needed to talk to. Yeah, fill in those artifacts. I need to talk to you, bro. Well, hello, Chi. What's this you've given me? Give them a summary of the events in the mine. You found a hidden chamber in the depths of the mines? Filled with unknown artifacts? Including a stone seal and a tablet with an unknown language on it? Would you want my help translating? Look at how excited he is. Incredible! Let's get this to my office. Aw, Eland's cute. To think, this has been below Mistria this whole time. There's going to be an ad starting in about 3 minutes, just so you guys know. I hate to admit it, but this translation is a bit beyond me. Chi, this is written in a language called Witch Speak. It was spoke a very long time ago. There are a lot of legends surrounding it. Most spectacularly, there are claims it was how humans and dragons originally communicated with each other. Today, we have an incomplete knowledge of it. Much of our understanding comes from unreliable secondary sources. But lately, I've begun to suspect that there might be someone in town who knows a lot more about it than I do. I can see we're on the same page. Yeah, Juniper makes sense. I bet she's a witch. With her newt concoctions and whatnot. Juniper has dropped a few hints about the arcane and unknown. I'm sure she can help us. Maybe that's why she came here to begin with. I suspect requesting for her to meet us at the manor house will not bear fruit. She'll want to be on her home territory. To the bathhouse! Away we go! Duh. I can just tell by the look on your faces that you're here to discuss something interesting. That is to say, interesting to you. If it's not interesting to me, you'll find my help to be very expensive. Perceptive as always, Juniper. Our friend Chi found a witch speak tablet deep in the mines. What? Well, that is to say, I suppose I could take a look. We're grateful for your assistance. Let me fill you in on the details. You guys hurry up so I can pet the dog. We have no money. Right? We're poor. Damn it. I have some thoughts about the tablet's syntax, Juniper. Silence, nerd. Fascinating. Before I tell you what's on the tablet, I have one request in return. If you find any more of these tablets, Chi, you bring the rubbings directly to me. Alright. Of course, Juniper. We're all in this together. Lovely. Let me read it aloud for you two. Oh, earthbound mortals who wish to remove the seal, gather proof of your desire to unite these lands again. Place in the dragon's hold 4 offerings. From the earth's good graces, a ruby. Catch a swiftly flowing fish of stone. A moth who gathers near the flame. A brown mushroom of the mines. Oh, easy peasy. Incredible. Please understand that in witch speak, it's much more poetic and expressive, but I've done the best I can with our common tongue. The only one I'm familiar with is the ruby, which I believe you can find in the mines. I would assume that means the rest can be found in the mines as well. You can count on me. I'm sure we can. What an incredible mystery. Good luck, Chi. We'll be waiting to hear an update with bated breath. Alright, I have half of those things already in my possession. Stonefish! I have to go fishing in the mines for stonefish. Right? Oh yeah, we got a new thing. Cute! Do I need pants with this? I don't. Oh, she's naked! That's inappropriate for stream. Sweetie rocker. Oh, thanks. Thank you so much. That's kind of cute. Put on some little brown shoes. Cute. I like it. Should I put on a cape? No, let's go back to the backpack. The backpack's cuter. We'll change it though to like brown to match our boots. Yeah, that's cute. Alright. Oh, I meant to check the quests. That was the whole reason I was in there. So, a stone loach. Alright. Maybe we'll do that adventure tomorrow, and today we'll do some fishing. Because it's late already. And I still need another fish for a quest. Smallmouth bass. I've been getting every fish except the one I need. A loach. Dang it. Fish. What if we get onto the river on my farm? If I can get down there. The ads are over. Welcome back. Come over here, guy. He's gone. Come here, bug. Oh, dang it. Come here, bug! No, he's not gonna come over here. I just got lucky that one time. pike. There's stupid bass. There's another one. Another fish. I finally got a gobby! Let's go. That's what I needed. Alright, who wanted it though? I can't remember. Holt. That's the general store guy. Who's that? I can't tell who that is. Is that Holt? It might be. Dang, he was right there. I missed my chance. There's another one. I just don't know if I need one of those for the museum. I can't remember. I only caught one and I gave it to Luke. He is here. Oh, Agavi! Thanks, Chi! Del told me they were lucky, you know. Now, how do they work? Could you let Del know I need to talk to her? Okay. Hey, we got money. Alright. Do we have any other quests to turn in right now? I don't think so. We could give Lewis a fang. I have them at my house. One of these. So here's a ruby and a mushroom. Sweet fish. Pike. I'm gonna keep these because I want to see if I can use any fish to make cat treats. Because I don't know. I gotta turn that one in. Can sell these peaches. Millions of peaches. Peaches for me. What is this bug? What are you? Rhinoceros beetle. There's a moth. Fuzzy moth. We need I need a lantern moth. And what was the other thing? Oh, I need that special fish. Those are the only two things we need. Oh, I forgot. Oh, I gotta take this. Cat mint. Oh, you brought me another flower. Nice. Do I have time to go to the museum and back, you think? Nah, I'll just go to sleep. I won't risk it. I won't risk it. I'll just go night-night. I got a marshmallow stuck on my lip. For my hot cocoa. that isn't so hot anymore. Oh, we made a lot of money. All the fish. It's definitely all the fish. Woohoo! Friday night at the inn. I just have to remember to go. Lukewarm cocoa yummy. Yes. Sorry, I didn't mean to pick you up and wake you up, kitty. You're just so dang cute. Ooh. Oh, I didn't know I had to like turn it on myself. Oh, I can harvest these. Cucumbers. All right. Let's see. I will ship most of these. I'll save 2 in case I need them. Is this chest full yet? Pretty close. All right. Let me put away this. And then I need to... What was it I had to give somebody? I forgot already. Oh, it's the fang. To Lewis. I don't remember who Lewis is. Why don't I remember who Lewis is? Who is that? I also don't see them on here. Wait, is that, what's his name's? I eat cucumbers as a snack. I love cucumbers. Actually, I have a cucumber in my fridge right now. I need to eat soon before it gets yucky. Alright, what's on the board today? Copper nugget beetle. Alright, I can get some of those. Yay, money! Doing regular check-ins for wear on some of the timber components, but beyond that, it's all upkeep from here. The mill's looking good. Everyone came together to make it happen, especially you, Chi. You really went the extra mile. You're welcome. Oh, her little summer outfit's cute. I like how they have different outfits in the summer. It's adorable. The kids are here. Why don't I remember who this Lewis person is? Oh, it's one of the Saturday market people. That's who he is. Well, he's gonna have to wait till Saturday market then. Aw, shucks. No, you're cute. What's up here? Oh, nothing. Nothing. by here, donate some stuff. What happened? Oh, I didn't click the button. Whoa! Why'd I get so much stuff? Fish? Wait, which ones did I finish? Wait, the wings. Wait, I didn't turn in any bugs. What did I turn in? Flowers. So I finished this one. That's archaeology. I didn't finish that. Crazy. Wonder why I got so many things. Whoa, I got an iron ingot. That's cool. A bed? And a big bed? Dang! Spring bed. Cute. And the spring double bed. Okay. That's pretty cool. All right. So if I go to level 20, okay, I have to bring this stuff here. Okay. So let's go to level 15. There was a lot of fishing. There's the moth I need. So now I just need that fish. Got him. Ow. I missed. Got him. Oh, he's stuck. You're still stuck. I'll just put you out of your misery, bro. Allow me to just put you out of your misery. Alright, where's the ladder? I need the ladder so I can get to somewhere with water. This is taking forever. Okay. Well, there's one of the bugs I need. Got him. There's a chest down there. Get the copper. I got some boots. Ooh. Wait, how do those work? Do I equip them? Yeah. Nice. Oh, there's no fish in the water. Oh, there is one. Oh my god, I just happened to get one. That's crazy, you guys. Level 20. There we go. Priestess. Hero. Thank you. I am... Dragon. Priestess. Meet below. Okay. Bye. Ooh, what's that? It's shiny. Heart crystal. This glowing crystal emanates a feeling of power. You feel a yearning to eat it? Okay. Let's go! Oh. Alright, what's on the other side of this door? Ooh! Ooh! He shot a double at me. Oh, I missed. Okay. I don't think I can do it at an angle. Dang, you dropped doubles. Okay. More mine, yeah. Ow, while I'm swimming? Rude. Come on, shoot again. Ow. Ow, you guy's a jerk. Got him. Iron ore. Let's go. Hey, I want to see what this fish is. Because I probably need another of them fish for the mine or for the museum too. Crap! I wasn't paying all the way attention and I lost a fish. Dang, we getting iron already. I haven't even upgraded all my tools to copper yet. I mean, I guess I don't have to, right? Oh no. I know, he electrocuted me. Got him. Alright, Yes! I forgot I could do that. That was my first time using magic. Fancy. Yeah, I'll probably just, present. Let's go. I got this scroll. What is it? Coral table. Ooh, cute. Let's go. There's a blue thing up there. Alright, we probably should just go. We should just go. Alright, what was this? Uncommon artifact. Nice. I'm gonna take you to the museum. Got him! Oh no, my inventory's full. Damn it. I don't need this cricket. Yeah. Pond skater. I don't know if I need him for the museum. We'll find out. Dang it, I didn't need him for the museum. Oh well. Tide Cavern artifact set. Oh. So that'll be all the artifacts you can find in those watery caverns, I take it. Approach, Chi. We must speak. Oh. I just got home, bro. The water seal has been broken. A portion of my power has returned. You have done well. I will grant you Summon Rain. You'll be able to access the spell from your journal. It can be used to summon a brief rainstorm on your farm. Use it wisely. Nice! Make it rain! Some memories are returning. Uh-oh. Cutscene. There are 5 seals in total. The earthquake must have damaged them. The resulting flow of magic allowed me to awaken when you repaired my shrine. But who closed off the seals in the first place, or why? I cannot recall. Chi, you must reopen the other seals. I will do all I can to aid you along the way. For now, allow me to heal you. Oh, thanks, bro. Go with my blessing. Alright, I'm gonna go sleep. It's bedtime. Bro kept me from going night-night. Oh, nice kitty. I wonder if that bed is would look nicer in my little cabin here. But don't. Saturday market, and it's Vera's birthday. I forgot about Friday night at the inn again. But we can go to Saturday market. I gotta give that one guy a thing. Ooh, it's gonna storm tomorrow. Nice. Alright. Oh, what should I give her? Which one is she? She's the one with the, like, hair accessories, right? And I'll give her this. I'll give her one of these flowers. Maybe she'll like that. Everybody likes flowers, right? Oh wait, I want to. How do I pick up my bed? Oh, just like that. Alright. Aw, cute. It's kind of cute. I'm gonna keep this one. I'm gonna sell the double bed for some money. Why not? Might as well. Also, what is this purple crystal? I need to eat it. Nice. I think I can grow. I think I can harvest more stuff today. Cool. I already took one of those. Actually, maybe I'll give that to her. Yeah. I'll give this to the girl for her birthday. Oh, I need my watering can. Oh yeah, I have these ingots too. I gotta bloop. Watering can. There it is. Oh, and also I'll take these fish so I can go make some cat treats while I'm in town for my kitty. Cone! It's Cone! All these flowers too. Alright, nothing else can be picked yet. Gonna make some churros? Churros? Say what? Cone! It's Cone! It's got the juice! I really like Cone. It's true. I really like Cone. No, wrong way, silly girl. Why are you looking that way? So far this isn't saving me time, because I can't look in the correct direction. You weeds! Stay out of my yard! I should go make some more fence. I need to get my crafting skill up anyway. Alright, we're gonna sell 2 cone and 2 maters and a couple daisies. We'll save the rest. A cat tree, a lickable called Oh, I know what you're talking about now. I thought you were trying to say churro, and I was like, that's not how you say that. I got confused. I forgot this cake in here. Licky. No, I don't have any more room for food in my chest. I need to make a chest. Cucumber salad! The shipment of cucumber we received from you this morning was excellent. Here's my recipe for cucumber salad. Alright. I've updated our shop selection with iron tools and armor. You can craft them yourself, but you're probably not skilled enough. Shut up, March, you jerk. I made all my tools I have right now, you butt face. He's butt face. I need to clean up my farm. It's getting a little out of hand around here. I know those they're yummy. Yeah. Yeah. Pine cone. Yeah, hardwood. Alright, that's a little better. Alright. This is for you. Give. Oh, I bet I know what this is. A birthday gift. Thanks, Chi. Aw, you're welcome. And then this is for the clothing guy. Oh, for me. It's a nice thought. Wait, no. No, you wanted it. What happened? I gotta go get another one. I messed up. He didn't like it, but also he asked for one. Right? Yeah, Monster Fang. I think it's because I did it the wrong way. Let me try again. Let me try again. I did it wrong. I fucked up. Luckily, I have more. I'm just trying to fulfill your request, Lewis. Turn in request. A Monster Fang. Thank you, Chi. This will be just the thing to make my latest piece pop. Alright, well, you didn't like it when I just gave it to you, so. What do you got? Anything good? Not really. Maid dress. Sneakers. Oh my gosh, a pumpkin beanie? That's so cute. I'm gonna buy the maid dress. Oh, I'm so cute. Look at me. Let's change my hair too. Do I like that hair? Hey, what is the back? What is going on back there? I don't know if I like that. Let's do, this is the one I had. Pigtails? No, I don't like that either. I'll just stick with the one I had. Or actually, oh, I got new shoes too? What are these? Oh, the scrap metal boots. I want this one. How's this one look? Oh, that's cute. What's up, Luke? Mr. Earl said you caught the cave shrimp at the museum. Did you know that shrimps aren't insects? They're crustaceans, but I think they're cute anyway. Aww. Oh, I was gonna go craft things. I need to go to the work. Oh, I also need to get this board item. What's on the board? Who needs help? A Tide Stone! Isn't that the artifact I just turned in? That's crazy. She wants an artifact. Oh, let's make treats? It might only be trout. Oh, cute. Oh. Yeah, so it has to be a trout for cat food. Or a bass, I mean. It has to be a bass. The trout was for the dog. Okay, we don't have a dog. So we need to keep the smallmouth bass to make cat treats with. Good to know. Now we know. Alright. I was just gonna make more fence. Sure, why not? Really just trying to get my level up. What is this? Oh, I could have made stone walls? That would have been cool. I still can't make a chest. Oh, it's just because I don't have any wood. Oh, I should have made chests. Dang it, I need chests. Alright, we're gonna go do some wood chopping, I guess. Good thing I got lots of trees on my farm to cut down. Yeah, I like this hairstyle better. It's cute. I guess I'll just put these in here for now. Can sell this fish. And I'm gonna give this treat to my cat. She's not here. Oh, she's probably out on an adventure. That's fine. Alright, we are going to chop trees. I also need to figure out about animals. I need to like figure out how much stuff I need and whatnot to build like a barn or a chicken coop or something. I wonder if anybody's made a farm planner for this game yet, like we have for Stardew. That's something I can do too. Oh, thank you, kitty. Such a nice kitty. I got time. I'm gonna run over to their house and see what do I need for like a chicken coop. That's probably the cheapest. Oregano. What are those? Hydrangeas. Bugs. Oh, excuse me. A sneeze. I don't know what's up with that stump. Oh, that's where the basil came from. What is that bug? Do I have one of you yet? Yeah, I do. Hummingbird hawk moth. I'm getting way too distracted. I don't have that much time. Oh, it's over here. Oh, I can start collecting for this. $40,000. That's crazy. Nope, I just want to see. Barn. Coop. Barn. So I can get a white one or a red one? Alright, so I need $1,500, 75 wood, and 50 stone. That's not too bad. $75 wood and 50 stone. And 1,500 bucks. Yay, that was the last thing I needed. Dill. Running home. I already have all these bugs. I'm gonna sell those and keep one. Yay, sparklies. I go sleep. Slept. Nice, we have the money for our barn. It's raining. Meow. Oh shoot, was it 75 wood and 50 stone, or was it 50 stone and 75 wood? Let's check the wiki. Coop. 75 wood and 50 stone. And 75 wood. Dang, I need a lot of wood. Grilled corn recipe. Tomato soup recipe. Yes. I have to learn this. And grilled corn. Yum. I need to take a tomato soup to someone. So it's basil, tomato, and something. I don't know what else that is. Pepper! Can't harvest anything else yet? Alright. Save a pepper. Alright. So I guess... I'll take this tomato. I need another basil. Dang it, I shouldn't have sold those ones I had. I messed up. Maybe I can find more somewhere. Look around all the places that I can. Pick things. Forage. That was the word I was looking for. I couldn't think of the word forage. Oops. Ooh, more peaches. Nice. What is that bug? A cicada. Nice. Ooh, and there's a dig spot. Sad. No, I need to go up. I'm going back home. I don't want to go back home. Stealing your flower. What is that? Is that grapes? Dang. Nice. Screw it. Might as well fish while I'm here. We're just kind of wandering around doing random stuff today, I guess. No, fishy, come back. Fishy, come back. I'ma do it all for you. Bream. I haven't been over here to the ruins in a while. Ooh, fishes. A char. Oh my god, a pufferfish! Look at him, he's so cute! He's so cute! Uncommon medium ocean fish found in summer and winter. But he's not a museum find though. That's crazy. Yay! Oh no. Ancient horn circlet. Fancy. Alright, I guess I need to go to the museum. I got a bunch of stuff. I got a bunch of things, and I gotta take it there. Because holy moly, I got a lot of stuff. To the museum. Oh, you need to turn in a tomato. Alright. I'll always get more tomatoes, and I still need to find some more basil. Dang, I got a bunch of stuff! I only need one more bug. There's an ad starting in a minute. Oh, I got a bunch of flour. Nice. Oh, you know what? I was supposed to go talk to what's her name too, and I never did. She's supposed to be up here. Let's do that right now. Chi, you're here! Now we can get the party started. I wouldn't call it a party, but it is needful work. Well, maybe it's both. With Mistria back on its feet, I thought it was high time to take care of some of the debris and other damage the earthquake left behind. I'm sure the whole town would appreciate being dealt with. Let's get beautifying! Thanks, Chi. It would go faster with more help, but... Eland, we talked about this. Everyone is so busy already. We need to shoulder the extra burden. The sooner we start, the sooner we're done. Let's go. Alright, we're going. I don't know where we're going, but we're going. Oh, repairing cracks and stuff. I needed to watch my step around here, especially at night. With the foot traffic the square gets, we're lucky no one twisted an ankle or worse. Hey, you three! Doing some repairs? Looks fun. You got this, smack that ground, right? Why don't the two of you join us? Why not? Definitely better to take care of these cracks now. Knowing my sister, Dell would probably try to dig this even deeper. Well, that's nice. We're making such good progress. Thanks for helping out, you two. It hardly feels like work when we all get to chat. Aw, that's cute. This is going to leave us with a lot leftover stone. I think we have use for it. Why don't we fix the steps up to the summit? Yes! I love that idea. These would make perfect repair materials, and there's less hauling for us to do as well. My word, was tidying the museum campus on the docket for today? I think these youngsters are trying to get one up on us, Errol. Let's show them what we can do. Whoa! Apologies. I can see my exuberance has gotten the better of me. You old show-off. Isn't it wonderful to restore old stonework? Untold generations of Mysterians have made use of these steps. More importantly, we'll finally have access to that lemon tree up on the hill again. And the summit. The view up there can't be beat. What's with all the noise was? Brius. March. Let's go. Such a tool. Yeah, it goes a lot faster if the guys with the skills come help. Ooh, I'd say that's a job well done. Shall we head up to the summit? I confess I've missed the view. Lemons! Yeah, let's go! Woo! Oh yeah, nice up here. I can't believe it. My whole list checked off so quickly. Next time, just put out a request, Adeline. Miss Selena's correct. Where Mistria is concerned, I believe there is no one in town who wouldn't pitch in. Everyone, thank you. Good job, everybody. Nice. I want to go up there. This must be the lemon tree. Bug. Wow. Oh, there's a castle over there. Oh, you can't see it. I'm in the way. Here, let me just hide me real quick. I see the castle over here. There's a castle down there. Ooh, what's this? Clear water fills the fountain. Drink some? Okay. Ooh, it gave me some health, or some stamina back. That's cool. Can you go to the castle, my lady? I don't think so. Not that I know of. Oh, I gotta learn this other thing down here. What was this? Spring lamp. Oh, is this a lamp? Interesting. Well, I didn't find any more basil up there. Chocolate, potato, sunflower, cattail fluff. Cone. I don't need to buy no cone. I got cone. Cone. Alright. I'll put this over here on this side. Alright. Commonly used as a cooking ingredient. I will keep 2. I really need to make chests. I'm running out of space. I might keep another peach. I think I have one in here too. Yeah. These fish I can sell, and this bug. Alright. I guess I'll just throw this flower in here for now. Alright, let's keep chopping wood. I need a lot of wood. Lots of wood. I feel like my stamina is lasting a really long time now. It's probably not safe to be out here chopping down trees in a thunderstorm. But here we are. Chopping the grass. I'm a lawnmower. Oh, I have a bunch of essence again, too. Alright. Making good work of this corner. Getting rather late. You should head home. Alright. Wait, what is this? What is that? Sage? Where did I get that from? I don't remember picking that up. Got him. All right. Better save that just in case. Sleep. Sleeping. Sleeping. Nice. Ooh, that's cute, whatever that is. Money. Alright, we got through another week. Look at my cute bed. It's so cute. Sunflowers. I think all the flowers are ready to pick now. Spicy water chestnuts. Nice. Alright, guys. Yum. We are... I started kind of late today. And I also have to work in the morning. So, unfortunately, stream's going to be a little short today. Oh, no. Let's have the best sip of water. It's all right. Nice. Love that. I love it when you're really thirsty and the sip of water is like just right. Sounds good. All right, let's find someone to raid. Let's see. Oh, radar is live. Yeah, let's go. Let's raid Dar. We haven't raided Dar in a while. Can't wait until next stream. I'll definitely be here. So Friday, what's today? Tuesday? Yeah. Friday is the next stream. Actually, I might do an extra stream tomorrow. No, I probably won't. Tomorrow, I think I'm gonna hang out with friends on Minecraft. More flowers in the road. Thank you. Next stream will be Friday, and we're doing a collab stream. We're playing Peak with some friends, so that should be really fun. All right, we're gonna go raid Mega Radar. Dar is playing Monster Hunter Stories. Yeah, Wambat will be there playing with us. If you're a subby, you're going to do the first raid call with the Chi and Mac Pops. And if you're not a subby, then you're going to do the Nemo Pops. And it just lets everyone know where you're coming from. Yeah. So I'm going to go say hi to Dar. And I'll be back on Friday. If you're not already, you can join the Discord so you can keep up with schedule changes, community events. Sometimes I ask you guys for game suggestions or a poll, or sometimes we have a movie night in Discord. We play is a strong word, but dragged because I suck stuff. But that's it for me. I love you guys. Thanks so much for hanging out today. I appreciate you and I love you. But get the fuck out. You have a game suggestion for me? You can send it to me in Discord if you want. We're raiding out though. Goodbye. Love you.